Good day, everyone. Today we're talking about something that might sound complicated, but it's actually all around us.
The four conic sections.
The conic sections are the curves formed when a plane intersects a double nap cone at different angles and positions. These curves are known as the circle, ellipse, parabola, and hyperbola.
O sige kayo na pogi, sige kayo na pogi. Basta sa akin yung dating.
Each of these shapes has its own unique properties and equation, but they all originated in one concept, the intersection of a plane and a cone.
Understanding conic sections help us not only in geometry, but also in real-world applications, such as engineering, astronomy, architecture, and even technology.
Alright! From the orbit of planets to the side of satellite dishes, and even the curves of bridges and roads, conic sections are everywhere!
Let us now explore each conic section in detail, beginning with the circle. The simplest and most symmetrical among the four. So let's start with circle. The definition of a circle is a set of all points that is equidistant from the center. So let's start with the general form. Ax squared plus by squared cx dy plus e equals to 0. So let's move on to the conditions. A must be equal, then A and B must not be equal to 0.
Now, let's move on to the standard equation of a circle. The given formula is x minus h quantity squared plus y minus k quantity squared is equals to r squared. Let's learn how to turn standard equation into a general form. Now, the given equation x minus 2 quantity squared plus y minus 3 quantity squared is equals to 4 squared. For the first one, we can expand both of the terms. For the first term, equals to x squared minus 4x plus 4 plus the second term, y squared minus 6y is equals to I plus 9. Now, we can arrange it into a general form. X squared plus y squared minus 4x minus 6y plus 4 and plus 9 is equals to 4 squared is equals to 16. Now, we can move the 16 to the left hand side. Now, we can combine the like terms. 4 plus 9 is equals to 13 minus 16 because we place it to the left hand side. So x squared plus y squared minus 4x minus 6y minus 3 is equals to 0.
Now, moving on, we have an equation here in general form. Now, to make this general to standard, first, we need to divide this equation by 2. So 2x squared plus 2y squared plus 4x minus 8y minus 20 is equal to 0. That would be x squared plus y squared plus 2x minus 4y minus 10 equals 0. Now, we need to group like terms. So that would be x squared plus 2x, and then we would leave a blank, plus y squared minus 4y, and then leave a blank again. And then let's move our constant to the other side. So negative 10 would be positive 10. Next is
Sure.
okay. Now let's balance our equation here. First, we need to divide our b with 2. So 2x would be 1. And then let's square it. So that would be 1 squared would be 1. Moving on, let's again divide negative 4y by 2. So that would be negative 2. And then let's square it. So that would be positive 4. Now, to balance this equation, what we put at the blank side should also be put at the right hand side. So that would be plus 1 and then plus 4. Now, let's factor this equation. X plus 1 squared plus y minus 2 squared is equals to 15. Right? The next is the standard equation. Our C, which is the center, is negative 1 and positive 2. Then our radius would be square root of 15. So this is our final answer.
So now, let's find the general equation given the properties. Given here, we have the center with the coordinates 1, 2, and the radius, which is equals to the square root of 15. First, to find the general equation, we have to find the standard equation. Given the standard equation, x minus h quantity squared plus y minus k quantity squared is equals to r squared. First, let's find the h, k, and the r. So our h here will be found in the center, the coordinates of the center, and k will be also found here. So let's substitute that into the equation. So x minus h is 1 squared plus y minus rk is 2 squared is equals to the square root of 15 squared. After that, we're gonna expand these terms. So x squared minus 2x plus 1 plus y squared minus 4y plus 4, and let's square the square root of 15, which is 15, because the square cancels out the square root. Next, let's arrange this equation into the general equation. So x squared plus y squared minus 2x minus 4y plus 1 plus 4 is equals to 15. And we will move 15 into the left hand side. So 15 will move to the left hand side. The side will become negative 15 is equals to 0. After that, we're gonna combine like terms. So our like terms here are the constant terms. So if we combine that, that will become 1 plus 4 is equals to 5 minus 15 will be negative 10. Let's do that. X squared plus y squared minus 2x minus 4y minus our answer, negative 10, is equals to 0. So this is our general equation.
For our next conic section, we have a parabola. A parabola is a set of all points that is equidistant towards a specific point in a specific line. Our formula for a vertical parabola is quantity of x minus h squared is equals to 4b quantity y minus k. Moving on is to horizontal, we have quantity of y minus k squared is equals to 4p quantity x minus h. So that is our formula for both horizontal and vertical of a parabola.
So let's move on to the table. Given the horizon axis, the opening should be right-left. The vertex should be hk. The focus should be h plus b, comma k. The directrix should be x is equals to h minus p. Moving on to the vertical axis, the opening should be up-down. Vertex should be hk. The focus should be h, comma k plus p. The directrix should be y is equals to k minus p. For the last one, the latus rectum or LR should both be equal for p.
Let's learn how to turn standard equation into general form. The equation given, y plus 3 quantity squared equals to 20 quantity x minus 4. On the first term, we can expand, we can square the binomial. So, y squared plus 6x plus 9. On the second term, we can distribute 20 to x minus 4. So, 20x is equals to, 20 times x equals to 20x. 20 times negative 4 is equals to negative 80. Now, we can turn the right hand side into the left hand side. So, now we can arrange this into general form. It's equals to y squared minus 20x plus 6y plus 9 and plus 8. We can now add the constant terms. So, y squared minus 20x plus 6y. So, 9 plus 80 is equals to 89. Is equals to 0. Now, we have the final answer.
We have here is a general equation of a parabola. Now let's turn this general equation into a standard equation. So let's move this y term and the constant term to the other side. So that would be positive 8y plus b. And then let's give a term here. So x squared minus 2x. Then let's keep a down there. So now we need to balance the equation. So negative 2x divided by 2, that would be 1, then square it, so that would be positive 1. And now we need to balance the equation, so let's put a plus 1 here. So now let's complete the square. So this would be x minus 1 squared, and then this would be 8. This would be 8y plus 16, since we did this equation. Now let's factor out the 8y plus 16, so that would be 8 y plus 2. And then let's copy the other side. So x minus 1 squared. So that is our final answer.
Next, let's find the general equation using the properties. Given the vertex with the coordinates 3, negative 2, and the focus 3, negative 6, and its axis vertical. Since it's vertical, we're going to use the equation x minus h squared is equals to 4t times y minus k. First, to transform the general equation, we're going to find h, k, and p. For h, we can find it in the vertex. So h, which is 3, and k, which is negative 2. And since p is not given, we can use the formula from the focus, which is, since it's vertical, we can find it from the focus where h is comma k plus p. So we can use this equation, k plus p. We have k plus p, and the value of our k is negative 6. So, in focus, so our k is negative 2 plus p is equals to negative 6. Then, we should isolate p, so transfer negative 2 to the other side. So, p is equals to negative 6 plus 2, which is 3 is equals to negative 4. So, that is our p. After finding the h, k, and p, we can substitute that into the equation. So, x minus rh is 3 squared is equals to 4 times p, which is negative 4, times y minus k equals to positive 2. After that, we're gonna expand this equation. So, x squared minus 6x plus 9 equals to 4 times negative 4 is negative 16 times y plus 2. After that, we're gonna compute here. So distribute negative 16 to this equation. So negative 16 times y is negative 16y. And negative 16 times positive 2 is equals to negative 32. And copy 6x plus 9. After that, we're gonna move this equation to the left-hand side. So, x squared minus 6x plus 16y and negative 32 will become positive. So, plus 9 plus 32 is equals to 0. After that, x squared minus 6x plus 16y, 9 plus 32 is equals to positive 41 is equals to 2. So that is our final answer.
Nag-print lang ng uniform pero hindi magpapalit yung ituturo ko sa inyo. An ellipse is a set of all points in a plane such that the sum of the distances from two fixed points are constant. Characterized by its standard equation, x minus h quantity squared over a squared plus quantity of y minus k squared over b squared is equals to 1. Now, the condition of an ellipse. A times b must be greater than 0. And the coefficient of a and the coefficient of b must not be equal to each other.
To the ellipse, given the axis of horizontal The center would be h, comma k. Vertices would be h plus minus a, comma k. Co-vertices would be h, comma k plus and minus b. Foci would be h plus minus c, comma k. Major would be 2a, minor would be 2b, LR would be 2b squared over a. Moving on to the vertical, center would be h comma k, vertices h comma k plus minus b. Co-vertices would be h plus minus a comma k. Foci would be h comma k plus minus c. Major would be 2b, minor would be 2a, LR would be 2a squared over
an ellipse to standard form. The general form of an ellipse is ax squared plus by squared plus cx plus dy plus e is equals to 0. To convert it into the standard form, we complete a square for both x and y terms. The standard form of an ellipse looks like this: x minus h squared over a squared plus y minus k squared over b squared is equals to 1. So let's have an example. X plus 5 squared over 25 plus y minus 1 squared plus 16 is equals to 1. A will be 5, B will be 4. Center is negative 5 comma 1. Vertices will be 0 comma 1 and negative 10 comma 1. Co-vertices would be negative 5 comma 5 and negative 5 comma negative 3. Foci would be negative 8 comma 1 and negative 2 comma 1. Major will be 10, minor will be 8. LR will be 2 times 16 over 5 is equals to 32 over 5. So that's the final answer.
Now let's move on how to turn the standard form into general equation. The given quantity x minus 2 squared over 9 plus quantity y minus 3 squared over 9 is equals to 1. First, we can move the denominator and move it into the right hand side. So 9 is multiplied by 9. Now we can square the binomial on both terms. So bring down 9 and square x squared minus 2 4x plus 4. Plus bring down 9 again, y squared and then square y squared minus 6y plus 9 is equals to 90. 9 times 9 is equals to 90. Now we can distribute this 9 into this term. So 9x squared minus 36x plus 36 plus distribute this 9y squared minus 54y plus 90 equals to 9. Now we can do the general equation. But first we can add like terms which is constant. So 9x minus plus 9y squared minus 36x minus 54y. 36 plus 90 is 126, so plus 126, and we can put this into this side, so minus 90 is equals to 0. We can substitute this into 126 minus 90 is equals to 36. So our final answer is 9x squared plus 9y squared minus 36x minus 54y plus 36 is equals to 0. And this is our final answer.
Okay, let's find the general equation given the properties of an ellipse. Here we have been given the center with the coordinates 1, comma, -2, and for vertex, which is 4, comma, -2, and for focus or foci, which is 2, comma, -2. So first, in order to find the axis, the general equation, we have to find first the axis. So how do we find the axis? So we have here given the center, vertex, and foci. So in order to find its axis, we have to analyze. We know that here there is no change in the y term, y or k, y coordinate or k coordinate. This acts as x and y. And there is a change in the x coordinates. And we can also check our table. So we can see here that our center stays the same, so h, k. But in our vertices, there is a change in vertex or vertices. Therefore, we can confirm that it's horizontal. And another given is the foci. And there is a change here on the h or the x-axis. Therefore, our axis is horizontal. Here. Okay, now next we have to find the values for A, B, or C, and then H and K. Why do we have to find these values? So in our our standard equation, there is H, K, B, and A, those variables. But C, there is no C. But for instance, such as cases like this, given F, the foci, where in the equation to find the foci of a horizontal ellipse, we can use this equation to find B, given the formula C squared is equal to A squared minus B squared. Okay? Now, let's first find h, k. So, x-axis is also the h, and the y-axis, y-coordinates, x-coordinate and y-coordinate, which is also k. Therefore, in a center, because given in the table, C, the center has the coordinates h, k. Therefore, our coordinates are 1, 1, and -2. Next, let's find A. First, let's find A given the vertex. So we have here h plus A equation. Therefore, we can find A given the equation. So our h is 1. Then we're gonna plus minus that with A, then equals to what is R given for. Or another easy way to determine the A is by counting the units from the center to the vertex. So we have here, for example, we have 1. And here we have 4. Therefore, 1, 2, 3, and this is 4. So let's count the units. So 1, 2, 3. Therefore, our A is equals to 3. Now let's try finding it using the equation. Let's use either of the operations of plus and minus, but let's use plus in this case first. So A is equals to 4 and 1 plus 1. And let's do some algebra. Let's transfer A into the right hand side, and because we want to isolate A. Therefore, A is equals to 4 minus 1, and A is equals to 3. There. Next, let's find C. Okay, let's find C. Because for now, we can't find B because our given here is foci with the equation h plus minus C. So we can also determine its value by counting numbers from the center. So here we have 1, this is our center. Then we have 2. Okay, so when we skip that 1 and 2, therefore their distance is 1. So our C is 1. Now let's find that using the equation. Let's go down here. So h plus minus c is equals to, what is the value for our h here? Therefore it is 2. So let's plug in the values of h, which is 1. And let's use either of the operations. Let's use plus, and c is equals to 2. Now let's do some algebra. We want to isolate c because we're finding its value. We're gonna move 1 to the right hand side, therefore it becomes 2 minus 1, and 2 minus 1 is equal to 1. Now that we found our c. Okay, we were right. So here, given the cases, we can find b given the equation of a foci and the equation of vertex. However, we can use this equation. Yep. Okay, let's find our b. So given c squared, a squared, and b squared, we have c. So let's square this term. So we have c is equals to 1. If we square our c and our a, therefore it becomes 3 times 3 is equals to 9, and 1 times 1 is equals to 1. So let's plug in our values. C is equals to 1, and let's use black. Is equals to 9 minus b squared still. And next, let's do some algebra. So we want to isolate our b squared. So, but first, let's make this into a positive. So move it into the right hand side, therefore it becomes, the left hand side, therefore it becomes b squared. And move this into the right hand side, therefore it becomes, let's copy 9, then the positive 1 becomes negative, so 9 minus 1. Therefore, b squared is equals to 8. And since we are finding for b, therefore we're gonna square that. Cancel the square root rb. So b is equals to, the square root of 8 can also be simplified into the square root of 4 times 2, which is also equals to 2 square root of 2, because the square root of 4 is 2. Therefore, that's rb. Okay, now that we found rb, 2 square root of 2, and its squared is equals to 8. Okay, we can now find the general equation that we found these values. We can find the general equation, but first let's plug it in the standard equation, which is x minus h quantity squared over a squared plus y minus k quantity squared over b squared is equals to 1. So now that we found the values for h, a squared, k, and b squared, let us plug it in. So our h is 1 and our k is negative 2. Negative times negative 2 becomes positive 2. There. Now our a squared is 9 and our b squared is 8. So that is our standard equation. However, we want to find the general equation, and in order to find the general equation, we first have to remove the fraction or the denominator by multiplying both sides by the least common multiple of 9 and 8. So the least common of multiple of 9 and 8 is 9 times 8 is 72. Now let's multiply both sides by 72. So 72 divided by 9 is 8, plus 72 divided by 8 is 9. Equals to 72. 72 times 20 is 72. We're not done yet. So first, we have to expand this. So 8x squared times x squared minus 2x plus 1 plus 9 times y squared plus 4y. It's actually 4y plus 4 is equals to 72. After that, we're gonna want to distribute this into this equation because we are multiplying them. So it becomes 8x squared minus 16x plus 8 plus 9y squared plus 36y plus 36 is equals to 72. And after that, we're gonna arrange the terms, but first let's move 72 into the left hand side. So positive 72 becomes negative 72, then equals to 0. Now let's rearrange. So 8x squared plus 9y squared minus 16x plus 36y plus 8 plus 36 minus 72 is equals to 0. Okay, now we can combine like terms. These two cannot be combined because they don't have the same variables, and these two cannot be combined because they have the different powers. So we're gonna copy those that cannot be combined. However, these three terms can be combined because they're all constant. Therefore, it becomes 8 plus 36 minus 72. So 8 plus 36 minus 72 is equals to negative 28. Therefore, this is our general equation.
So now we would have an example of an ellipse given the properties of C is 3, negative 1, vertex is 5, negative 1, and foci 2, negative 1. So first we need to identify the axis of this, which is horizontal. And then for our next step is to identify our H, K, and A, B, and C. For our H, that would be 3, coming from the x coordinate of the center, and K would be coming from the y coordinate of the center, which is negative 1. So for this case, our A, so we can actually solve our A in this case is we can come from the center we can count from the center going to the vertex, the x coordinate. So in this case, we can have 3 and we can count up to 5. So 3, 4, and 5, that should be 2. So let's solve for DC, which we can actually do with the foci. Our foci is going to be H plus or minus C, K. And we can do that. So let's just substitute our values. We will have 3 plus C is equals to 2. And then let's just move 3 to the other side. So that would be 2 is equals to 2. So the C is equals to 2 minus negative 3. And then our C is equals to negative 1. Now let's solve for the B, which is going to be A squared minus B squared is equals to C squared. So let's just substitute our values. We would have 2 squared minus B squared is equals to 1 squared. So let's just do the operations. We would have negative B squared here, and then 1 minus 4. So basically we did the operation of this 2 squared
and then we move it to the right hand side, so that would be negative 4. And then let's just do the operation. That would be negative 3 times negative b squared, and then let's just divide this by a negative, so that would be b squared is equals to 3. So our b is 3. Now that we have our h, k, a, b, and c, we can just substitute that to our standard equation. Our standard equation is x minus h squared over e squared plus y minus k squared, quantity squared, over b squared. This is equals to 1. So let's just substitute this. We would have x minus 3 squared over 4, and then plus quantity of y minus 1 squared is equals to 3 equals 1. Now we want to turn this standard equation to a general equation. To do that, we need to multiply the denominators, which is 4 times 3, which is going to be 12, and we should divide that. So this should be divided by 12, and we would have 3x minus 3 quantity squared plus 4y plus 1 quantity squared is equals to 12. Now we should complete the square. So 3 quantity of x squared minus 6x, negative 6 divided by 2 should be negative 3, and then let's square it, so that would be plus 9 plus 4 quantity of y squared plus 2y, so 2 divided by 2 is going to be 1, and then let's square that, so that should be 1 is equals to 12. So after that, let's just distribute all of this. So let's distribute 3 here, 3 here, and 3 here, and 4 here, 4 here, and 4 here. So that would be 3x squared minus 18x plus 27 plus 4y squared, y squared plus 4y that should be 8y plus 4, and let's move 12 to the left hand side, minus 12 is equals to 0. So after all of this, let's just arrange the terms and perform the operation. So this would be 3x squared plus 4y squared minus 18x plus 8y plus 19 is equals to 0. So this is our final answer.
Now, let's move on to hyperbola, a set of all points in a plane with distance from two fixed points called the cosine. Now, let's show the standard formula of a hyperbola. Quantity x minus a squared over a squared minus quantity y minus k squared over b squared is equal to 1.
For an equation to be considered a hyperbola, first the condition has to be a times b must be less than 0.
Now, let's learn the properties of hyperbola. For center, we have C quantity h comma k. For vertices, we quantity h plus minus a comma k. For co-vertices, we have quantity h comma k plus or minus b For foci, we have quantity h plus minus c, comma k. Now, for transverse axis, we have 2a. For conjugate, we have 2b. Now, for lactose rectum, we have 2b squared over 8. Now, let's move to vertical. It's the same as horizontal, but we have to move here. Now, for center, as the same as horizontal, quantity h, comma k. Now, for vertices, we have quantity h, comma k plus or minus b. For co-vertices, we have quantity h plus or minus k, comma k. For foci, we have quantity h, comma k plus or minus c. Now, for transverse axis, we have 2b and the conjugate is 2a. Now, for the LR, we have 2a squared over
Alright, let's find the general equation given the standard equation of a hyperbola. So, we have here x minus 1 quantity squared over 16 minus y minus 2 quantity squared over 9 equals to 1. So, in order to find the general equation, we have to first eliminate the denominators. So, in order to do that, let's find the LCD. So 16 times 9 is equals to 144. And after that, let's multiply it. One 44. Alright, we're gonna have to divide it. So 144 divided by 16 is equals to 9. So this becomes 1 and this becomes 9. And 144 divided by 9 is equals to 16. Okay, let's copy this. There we have it. And next, we're gonna have to expand these two binomial. So 9 times x squared minus 2x plus 1 minus 16 times y squared minus 4y plus 4 is equals to 144. And after that, let's distribute this outside term into this inside term. Equation. So 9 times x squared is 9x squared. 9 times negative 2x is negative 18x. 9 times positive 1 is positive 9. Minus 16y. With 16 times y squared is negative 16y squared. Negative 16 times negative 4 is positive 64y. And negative 16 times 4 is equals to negative 64. Equals to, we're gonna distribute this into the other side. So positive 144 becomes negative 144. So this becomes negative 144 equals to 0. And after that, let's arrange the equation. So 9x squared minus 16y squared minus 18x plus 64y plus 9 minus 64 minus 144 equals to 0. Next, let us combine like terms. So x squared and y squared are not the same, has not the same variable, and x and y does not have the same variable. But these three constant number are the same, so let's combine them. First, let's copy this. 9x squared minus 16y squared minus 18x plus 64y. So positive 9 minus 64 minus 144 becomes negative 199 is equals to 0. So this is our general equation.
Yan ba? Okay. So we have here is a general equation, and we want to turn it into a standard equation of a hyperbola. Now our given is 5x squared minus 4y squared minus 20x plus 16y minus 16 is equals to 0. Now first step that we need to do is group the like terms. So we would have here is 5x squared minus 20x minus 4y squared plus 16 minus 16 is 16y is equals to 0. Now we need to factor out. So we would have 5 quantity of x squared. 5 divided by negative 20 is going to be negative 4x. And then 4 quantity of y squared minus negative 4 divided by 16y, that should be negative 4y, minus 16 is equals to 0. Now we need to complete the square here, so we have x squared minus 4x, negative 4 divided by 2 is going to be negative 2, and then square it, that should be plus 4 minus 4 y squared minus 4y, again negative 4 divided by 2 is going to be negative 2, square that, so that should be positive 4 minus 16. No. Let's move the constant term here to the right hand side, so that should be 16 plus, so 5, so the blank that we put here there is going to be 4 times 5 because of this, and then let's just do the same here, so this should also be 4 times negative 4. And after that, let's just distribute this to this here, and then negative 4 to y squared, negative 4y, and to negative 4. So this would be 5x squared minus 20x plus 20 minus 4y squared plus 16y minus 16 is equals to, and then let's just do the operations here to the right hand side, so that should be equal to 20. So next step is we just need to again get the common factor again, so this will be 5 quantity of x minus 2 squared minus 4 y minus 2 dt squared is equals to 20. Now let's turn this into a standard equation. So this would be 5x minus 2 quantity squared over 20 minus 4 quantity y minus 2 squared is over 20 is equals to 20. Also, we would divide it by 20. So now what we have here, so we should divide 20 divided by 5. That would be x minus 2 quantity squared over 4 minus 4 divided by 20 is going to be y minus 2 quantity squared over 5, and then it should be equal to 20 divided by 20 is going to be 1. So this is our final answer. This is the standard equation of the hyperbola given this example.
Okay, next, let's find the standard equation given the general equation of a hyperbola. So, we have 9x squared minus 16y squared minus 18x plus 64y minus 199 is equals to 0. First, in order to find the standard equation, we're gonna have to group like terms. So, 9x squared and negative 18x have the same variables. Then we're gonna add plus blank because we're gonna do completing the square. Next, let us use a negative sign because we want it to be identical to the standard equation, which is x minus h quantity squared over a squared minus y minus k quantity squared over b squared is equals to 1. So we have that. So next, let us factor out negative. So negative 16, we're gonna factor out the negative from there, so it becomes positive 16 y squared. Next, we have 64y. We're gonna want to factor out the negative from the positive, so it becomes negative 64y plus blank and equals to negative 199. We're gonna put it on the right hand side, so negative 199, it becomes positive 199. So equals to 199. After that, we're gonna want to isolate the x squared and y squared, so we can find the square of binomial easier. So in order to do that, we're gonna want to factor out these numbers. So put it here, and in order to do that, we're gonna have to divide it. Oh my god, this big. So 9 divided by 9 is equals to 1. So 1x times x squared minus 18x divided by 9. It becomes 2x plus blank. The next, we're gonna have to, why did I do this? In order to isolate y squared, we're gonna have to divide it with 16. Let's use the color red. So 16 divided by 16 is equals to 1, so it becomes, let's factor out 16 because we're gonna want to factor it out. So it becomes y squared. Next, 64 divided by 16 is equals to 64 divided by 16 is equals to 4y. So negative 4y plus blank and 199. After that, we're gonna want to complete the square, so we can do that now. And in order to complete the square, we're gonna use the second term, or the b term, ABC. So we're gonna divide the b term by 2 and multiply it by itself, or square it. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. Then 1 times 1, negative 2 divided by 2 is negative 1, and negative 1 times negative 1 is equals to 1. Next is this, so negative 4 divided by 2 is equals to, and negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4. After that, since we added some numbers here, we also want to add numbers here in order to balance the equation. So let's do that. So 9 times 1 becomes positive 9, and negative 16 times 4 becomes negative 64. So let's clean this up. 9 times x squared minus 2x plus 1 minus 16 times y squared minus 4y plus 4 is equals to 199 plus 9 minus 64 is 144. Ayan. after that, we're gonna want to make the right hand side into 1. Why? Because we are finding the standard equation, and this is the standard equation where the right hand side is equal to 1. So in order to make it into 1, we have to divide all the terms in 144. So we can turn this into 1. So let's divide it here too. Let's see. So 9 divided by 144. So we can divide it, but let's not use decimals. So let's find the common factor. Here we have the common factor of 9. So let's divide the numerator and denominator by 9. So 9 divided by 9 is 1. And 144 divided by 9 is 16. Next is we have negative 16 over 144. So the common factor is negative 16. 16. Let's do it. So negative 16 divided by 16 is negative 1 over 144 divided by 16 is 9. So this becomes 1 and this becomes 1, but this becomes 16 and 9. There. Let's copy the equation. X squared minus 2x plus 1 over 16 minus y squared minus 4y plus 4 over 9 equals to 1. And after that, we want to find the perfect square binomial of these two terms. So let's do that. So it becomes x minus 1 quantity squared minus y minus 2 quantity squared over 9, and this is over 16, equals to 1. So this is identical to the standard equation, therefore this is our standard equation. And let's look on the other side. We use this to find the standard equation. This general equation, we use this to find the standard equation. And it's the same as here. So we did the right thing. This was 1 earlier because we multiplied it by 16 times 9. Therefore, it becomes 144. So it's identical. So it's right.
Now
Thank
let's
you.
know how to turn this general equation into properties. First, we can group this x and y terms. So 4x minus 16 divided by 4 is 4. So 4x plus 4 minus 9 y squared minus 9 divided by 18 is 2. So 2y plus 1 equals to 24. Now we can add this both into this right hand side. So 4 times 4 minus 9 times 1. This is 16 and this is 9. Is equals to 36. So 4x minus 4 divided by 2 is 2. So 2 squared minus 9y minus 1 equals to 2 equals 36. Now divide all this into 36. So 36, 36. This we can cancel this out, and this will turn into 4 divided by 36 is 9, and 9 divided by 36 is 4. So x minus 2 equals to 9 minus y minus 1 is equals to 9, 1. Now we can go for properties. This is 4, sorry. Now we can go for properties. First, we can go for A. So the square root of 9 is 3. And the square root of 4 is 2. We can find the c squared by adding this 3 plus 2. So 3 plus 2 is 5. We can now find the properties. So we can find the center is equals to 2, comma 1. And for the vertex is equals to quantity 5 because 2 plus 3 plus 2 comma 1 quantity. Now let's say for negative, so negative 1 by 1. Now let's find the co-vertex. Equals to CV equals to 2 quantity 3 and 2 comma 1 because we can add 1 and b squared, so 1 plus 2 is 3 and 1 minus 2 is 1. Now let's find the foci. Foci is 7 comma 1 and the negative 3 1 because h plus minus c squared. Now let's try to find transverse. So transverse is 3 times 8. So 3 times 2 is 6. And conjugate, you can find this as b squared. So 2 times 2 is 4. Now let's try find the LR. LR is 2 quantity 2 squared over 3. We can find the 2 squared here, and we can find the a squared here. So 9 is equals to 4 over 9. Now, here's our final answer.